In the morning of the last day of our phone trip in August 1976, Dave and I went through the ConestogaTel&Tel area. This is a rural independent phone company that has mostly step-by-step, although the first place we encountered this company was Morgantown, where they had an ESC. None of the trunks in this telephone company's area that we ever found were T-carrier. Most of them were wire. And some N3 family carrier trunks from here can be heard calling Reading, which is where the operators for this area are. This phone company does not have operator services. Reading is a Bell of Pennsylvania point. Here are the recordings from the Morgantown ESC.
Right here. Check the hum. Listen. Any hum? No, nothing there though, right?
There's that famous ESC immediate dial tone again. When you hang up on a dial tone and pick up again, you go to lockout. After that, a short flash goes back to dial tone. You'll hear that happen a couple of times.
215-286-9972.
We're going to call 411, and here you will see a culture clash between Bell of Pennsylvania and this independent company. ConestogaTel does not provide its own directory assistance. It gets it directly from Bell of Pennsylvania, and they mistakenly wired the trunks so that the directory assistance operator gets the class of service tone when she answers. This is not normal procedure for directory assistance. It is for zero operator on cord boards. So on this first call to 411, the Bell of Pennsylvania DA operator hears the class of service tone and immediately releases, thinking something's wrong.
Directory assistance, what city, please?
From Morgantown?
Morgantown?
Yes.
All right, and who are you calling there, sir?
Yes, well, what I'd like to know is what exchanges are local calls from here?
You want to know what, sir?
What exchanges can be dialed locally?
Oh, you'd have to dial over your operator and ask her, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Operator.
Can you tell me what exchanges I can call locally from here?
Well, what do you want to call?
Well, I'd like to know for future reference what I can call locally.
Well, sir, there's quite a few.
Well, how many are there?
Oh, wait a minute. $21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call back when I have something to write them down, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reorder we got, dialing our own number without a coin in the phone. We were assuming it was post-pay. The next call is dialing 1.
This is a recording in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Area code 215, office code 286. The number you have reached is not in service. Thank you. This is a recording in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Area code 215,
This time we're going to let the dial tone time out and get the permanent signal tones and recording. What we haven't figured out yet is that this is actually a dial tone first phone. Because the ESC doesn't do an obvious coin check, it just kind of senses continuously whether the ground is there or not. We haven't realized that it's DTF yet, so we think we can dial local calls without a coin. We'll figure it out soon though.
This is a recording in Morgantown telephone office. Your line is being held into our equipment. Please check all phones and extensions to make sure they are on hook. Then redial. Thank you. This is a recording in
Operator.
Can you tell me what exchanges are local from here?
Alright, hold on a minute.
Okay.
So, no wait, you're gonna have to hold. We're very busy. Just a minute.
Okay.
The hum you're hearing here is actually on the phone line. We are a good distance from the central office, and the hum is going to increase when we start putting a coin in the phone. So this is actually not from the pickup coil, this is the way the line really sounded.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, okay. Now the first one is 273.
Uh-huh.
372. 373. 374. 375. Hold on a minute. All right, what was the last one I gave you?
375.
376. 378. 385. 582. 670. 678. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry, go back to 385. I looked at the one below. 445. 469. 582. 670. 678. 775. 777. Oh, I have to leave the line. No, wait a minute. I know it was the last one. 777.
Right.
779. 856. 921. 929. 942.
That's all right.
What?
Is that all of them?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
When you dial a local call out of the office without a coin in the phone, you get the generic intercept recording for Morgantown.
This is a recording in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Area code 215. Office code 286.
You're actually supposed to deposit.
Time to scrounge around for a dime, usually not needed on this phone trip. Now that I know you have to deposit, I'm going to try dialing my own number again. We got a reorder without the coin. The ring and busy tones here are very loud. Part of the reason for that might be that there's a range extender on this long phone line. The next call will be to 273, which, as you'll see before we're even finished dialing the number, is a Bell 355 step. After the third digit, you heard it seize the trunk with a loud click, and you could tell that it got a reorder on the fourth digit because you can hear it right through the customer dial pulse receiver or whatever it's called in an ESC. 273 is in a place called Honeybrook. It's in the Coatesville long distance sector, but intercept is handled by the Philadelphia AIS, as you'll see on the next call. While we're here on lockout, let me just give you some info about the way things sound from this phone. Every time we dial a digit on this phone, on the tape that just sounds like a brief moment of silence. When you hear dial pulsing, that is the ESC dialing out onto a trunk, usually to a step. On a call that is going to dial pulse out, you'll hear the ESC get the trunk after we dial the third digit of the office code. There's a very audible tick at that point. And from that point until the rest of the dialing, you can hear what's going on the trunk through attenuation. The ESC uses overlap outpulsing. That is, as you're dialing a number, it is dialing out on the trunk. We dial slowly in order to let you hear all the details. The next call is a 4-digit dial pulse trunk, so when we dial the office code, you just hear it get the trunk. It doesn't dial anything then. And then as we dial the next 4 digits, it repeats them. After the last one, it cuts through and you can hear the trunk at full volume.
Number calling?
273-1111.
273-1111?
Yeah.
The number you have reached, 273-1111, is not in service. In area code 215, please check the number and dial again. 273-1111 is not in service. In area code 215.
The next call is to 372, which is part of the main step office in Reading. The name Reading is spelled like dreading without the D. But hey, that's not fair. It's not as if Reading looked anything like Wilkes-Barre or something. Well, anyway, this step, the 37s, is in the same building as the Reading crossbar tandem with recording ID 21510. The 3 Conestoga offices that we do have recordings of are all in the Reading long-distance sector, but we didn't make any long-distance calls while we were in the Conestoga area. Except for the very end of the third stop. You'll hear a long-distance call through the local network, but that's 2 programs ahead. Here's a 372 number.
the wrong number. Check with information.
Thank you.
Calls to the Reading 37 numbers go through a 5-digit trunk to the Reading step. The Morgantown ESC connects to that trunk when we dial the third digit of the office code, and then it repeats that third digit for the benefit of the selectors there. The trunks to the 37s are N3 family. .5 is Douglasville, a ConestogaTel step. From here, it goes through another ConestogaTel office, probably Birdsboro 582, which is the company headquarters, but with this company you can never be sure. After we dial 385, you'll hear the ESC getting the trunk to the other Conestoga step and dialing the 5.
Recording in Douglasville, Pennsylvania, area code 215, office code 385. The number you have reached is not in service. Thank you. This is a recording in Douglasville, Pennsylvania, area code 215, office code 385. The number you have reached is not in service. Thank you. This is a recording in Douglasville, Pennsylvania.
Hummy enough for you? This is the Douglasville ring, and this kind of a trunk is a trademark of calls to the Conestoga steps, hummy wire lines. But if we were to let this answer, you would see that the trunks don't hum very much in the answered state. Unfortunately, this Morgantown phone line would go right on humming. At this particular stop, we used a phone line that really did hum, and for that reason I don't want to filter out the hum, except for this next call. I'm going to use filtering to approximate what it would sound like if we were right in Morgantown, and that's just because there are details I want to show you. ESCs are so cool. 445, as you can already tell, is an independent step going out over a 4-digit wire trunk. We got the trunk on the third digit, the fourth digit got repeated, we could hear that it's over a wire trunk, and now the reorder is audible in the background. I'm now going to dial 2 more digits and you'll hear them being dialed out. We've dialed all but the last digit, and you can hear the reorder coming through the customer dial pulse receiver, or whatever it's called here. Watch what happens when it times out. It goes on hook on the trunk before disconnecting the trunk, and you can actually hear the reorder get louder when that happens. Listen carefully.
This is a recording in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Area code 215, office code 286. The number you have reached is not in service. Thank you.
I wonder if that's a mistake specific to Morgantown, because, in the partial dial condition, a vacant number recording makes no sense at all. Nor does it make any sense to go to that recording when a customer fails to deposit a dime on a local coin call, especially in an area where the majority of coin phones are post-pay. But isn't it cool that it went on hook on the trunk before disconnecting it, so you actually heard it get louder? ESCs, it's as if they went out of their way to make a stored program control switch that phone freaks would like. My apologies for the artifacts from the filtering on that call. Back to normal now. Let's call Tara Hill 445. This time I'll dial all 7 digits so you can hear the reorder without attenuation. Here are 3 more calls to 445 Tara Hill. We didn't get a normal ring, but then again we didn't try very hard to. This is an independent, but I don't think it's Conestoga. The next code is Pewtown 469. The Morgantown ESC gives us a clue as to how the call is going through. All you have to do is dial the number, and as soon as you dial the 3rd digit, you can hear Morgantown picking up a trunk to some step, not Pewtown, and dialing a 9, the 3rd digit of the phone number. After Morgantown dials the 9, you can hear a step selector at the other end cutting in to the trunk to Pewtown. So it's very clear just from dialing the first 3 digits that Pewtown is being reached via some other step. Pewtown is a Bell of Pennsylvania 355 step. It's in the Philadelphia long-distance sector. That may be a clue as to what step it is going through. Probably it is not going through Reading. Here are some calls to 469. All we really got was the reorder, but if you're listening with headphones, you can hear the ringtone underneath. .582 is Birdsboro, the company headquarters. It's another step with GTE-type ring. Morgantown picks up a trunk to some Conestoga step, maybe Birdsboro itself, and dials the last 5 digits.
I'm sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, area code 215.
That was a ringing number in Birdsboro. Birdsboro has something else in it, a paging system. On the following call, we get a working number in the paging system, and the recording plays twice. But the second time it plays, it sounds like it's, well, tired.
This is the Metro paging terminal. Your party has been signaled. Will you please hang up and wait for your party to contact you? Thank you. This is the Metro paging terminal. Your party has been signaled. Will you please hang up and wait for your party to contact you? Thank you.
I am not sure what to make of that. Was it 2 separate machines that had the same announcement on them, and the second one is fluttery? But one thing's for sure, do not ask that lady to repeat herself. I said, do not ask that lady to repeat herself.
Sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number or try your call again. We're sorry you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number or try your call again.
What number calling?
That call was to 670, a crossbar 5 in Reading. As you heard there, the ESC waits until the 7th digit of the number. So you dial the complete 7-digit number, it then gets the trunk, waits for the flash, and in this case, MFs the last 5 digits. The exact same thing occurs, and it's the same trunk group, when we call 678. This is lockout, by the way. I'll go back to dial tone when I flash. Reading, Pennsylvania is famous because of the ring generator in the 775 and 777 office. It's a step, and Morgantown has direct 5-digit trunks that are N3 family carrier. I definitely lost my dime that time. Doesn't look like the ESC has much supervision grace. Anyway, at the risk of losing yet another 10 cents, let's call 777, which is in the same office, and hopefully we'll get that wonderful ring, which is called Murray Ring, by the way. Double Murray Ring. Too bad I had to hang up for fear of losing my last dime. On the next call, we dial a 921 number, and 921 is a step with crossbar 5 type ring in Reading. When we cut through, we are already on a centralized intercept call in progress, so much so that we don't even hear a ringtone.
We're sorry you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number or try your call again. We're sorry you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number or try your call again.
What probably happened was that the 1000 group is invalid in the 921 step office, so it went to centralized intercept, but by the time we cut through, the recording was almost ready to come on. 942 Glenmore is another 355 step of Bell of Pennsylvania. It's in the Coatesville long distance sector. Morgantown has a direct trunk where it dials 4 digits. Oh boy, you could hear me taking the pickup coil off the phone as if to say, that's it, I'm out of dimes and nickels. That really was the last code in the list. But there's one I saved for last in this program, and that's Green Hills 856. Far as I can tell, this is a Conestoga small crossbar office. From here, the call goes through on a 5-digit trunk, probably to Green Hills itself. The only thing I can tell you for sure is that when Morgantown dials the 6 of 856, there is no step cut-in noise coming through on the trunk, so it's probably a 5-digit trunk to Green Hills itself.
I'm sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording in Green Hills, Pennsylvania, area code 215. Thank you.
To anyone from Canada, let me apologize for what those Pennsylvania Yankees did to your reorder tone. Yes, that tone plant, both the ring and the reorder, is known as Canada Ring. But Canadians aren't loud and obnoxious like that. So I do apologize. Here's one more call to the same thing. It's also going to have a loud reorder.
I'm sorry. The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording in Green Hills, Pennsylvania. Area code 215. Thank you.
Well, that's it for this program. The next stop is Birdsboro. Same phone company, except it's a GTE type step. That program turned out a lot better than I thought. You see, we used a phone where you couldn't record very well. It was hummy, and the phone wasn't very loud. But the program, once I produced it, turned out fine. You can't hear the usual details, you just hear different details, and it has even truer dynamics because the phone wasn't so loud. So it's actually a good program. But Oli, which isn't even local from here, is the third stop at Conestoga. That's the one I found the most interesting. Anyway, they're all good. Next stop,